Hey ladies, this is Mocha Mommy here bringing you another video and I just kind of wanted to share some of my personal experience simply because I feel like there's a lot of notions going around about like IR dating and marriage and I just kind of wanted to share my personal experience with it and my experience is very shaded by the fact that one, I live in Austin, and it's not uncommon here in Austin, place like Austin, Phoenix, um, certain parts of I don't know, certain other parts of the country, San Antonio, certain other parts of the West Coast. It's not like uncommon. Certain parts of New York, it's not uncommon to see Black women in IR relationships, and also I think kind of birds of a feather flock together. So military towns, you don't see it as it's not very uncommon. So I just kind of wanted to dispel some rumors to people who still feel that there's a lot of sensationalism behind Black women dating out. So, one of the misconceptions I hear a lot are that, oh, it's the skinny, dark-skinned women who do the best. And I'm just letting you know, like I was at the Indian restaurant the other day and clearly curvy brown skin girls ain't missing no meals. I'm kind of a pear-shaped brown skin girl, and I did just fine. In every single setting that I was in. And I think a lot of it just has to do with who's willing to really just put themselves out there and meet people they have things in common with. Because I think that there's this misconception that we're all so desperate and that we're all that online dating is dangerous. And they'll bring up, many of the women who have been killed and injured as a result of IR dating. But, they'll bring up, Lauren Smith Fields, bless her heart, God bless her family and everything they're going through. But you don't really see, but Travis and Tori met the exact same way. Shout out to Austin again. This is not uncommon in Austin. Travis and Tori met the exact same way. And if you really look at Black women in online dating, you'll see there are tons of YouTube channels of Black women who have met their non-Black significant other online. Another thing I kind of see too in real life, and also is reflective of online, is like the faith-based couples like Cole Life. You see that a lot in some of the, like your larger non-denominational churches that have like the bigger campus and singles ministry. I know that I went on a lot of IR dates too, being parts of different singles ministries and different campus ministries, and not confining myself to just Black churches. Better Together, they're another faith-based couple. I think she was like in a gospel choir and he was part of like a faith-based mission group. So again, another faith-based couple here on YouTube. Meet the Barthols. They're both military and faith-based couple. So this is very, they're in Colorado. They're stationed in Colorado now, but I watched their channel. I'll leave them in the description box. I like her channel. She's adorable. Also, I think Sierra and Sean and Sierra, that's another military couple. Again, not uncommon. And then you have Mel and Mo, right? Another military and faith-based couple. So again, I think it's not the sensationalism that I think that we're putting around it is only to our detriment. So I really think it's a matter of this kind of putting yourself out there and living your priorities. Mel still was a writer and she still was very committed to her military career, and Mo, they kind of met that way. And I feel like these couples have just decided to kind of like live their priorities, and that's how they met. The Better Together, they're adorable. She was in a gospel choir, and just very open to meeting another man of faith. And Sean and Sierra, no offense to my sisters in arms of other races, no offense, but I would definitely say as Black women, we definitely outnumber our Black male counterparts in the armed services. And with that being said, we're definitely a very large cisgendered heterosexual demographic in the military. No offense to my other sisters in arms, love them, grateful to their to my friendships and to the alliances that I've built. But that's just an observation that I've had, that we're a very large constituent, female heterosexual constituent in the armed forces. So, I think when it comes to IR dating too, I mean, I really wanted to bring it a point to bring up like Rachel Lindsay's book, and also like the vetting process that it takes to find a Black man interested in a Black woman. I mean, I know that a lot of times, we wonder like, does he like Black women? Do Latino men like Black women? Do white men like Black women? Do Asian men like I mean, we got to ask that question with Black men. Like, let's be real. We have to ask that question. Do they like, I mean, I think Rachel Lindsay's book, when she talked about how common it was to just continue to meet Black men that don't like Black women, and how despite like a nationwide casting call that screened thousands of applicants, that the Bachelor casting staff had a hard time. And then we saw that again on season 12 of Married at First Sight. So if you're nervous about putting yourself out there, like, do they even like Black women? Listen, whether you Black love or you're going to ask that question for Black love or swirling. Like, you're going to ask that question regardless. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, like, if casting agents who have these wide nets and lots of resources are finding it challenging to find Black men who like Black women, let me tell you something. You already ahead of the game. Like, if you already been playing that game, you've already jumping the fence shouldn't be any different. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, essentially. So another thing I want to say is, so that's just like a lie the manosphere tells you, like, oh, they don't like Black women like that. Black men don't like Black women like that. So what difference does it make? It's almost like the same process, vetting process. So again, I mean, I do know that being like a high achieving Black woman, you're going to have a lot harder time, in my opinion, from my experience. The more chest candy or the little bit heavier my collar got in the military, or just being a little bit more on the articulate side, or it was a challenge. It was a little bit more of a challenge. They say that's what they want, but they say they want Claire Huxtable, but really they want Lil' Kim. So it's hard. I mean, really I was kind of making this joke, and I mean, I'm just being real, kind of saying like, as we're talking about funding our kids' educations, and, I'm talking to another Black female friend of mine who has a child who is also going to be graduating high school soon. She was saying like, it seems like a lot of Black women support each other with going to college, but the collective of Black men, you don't see a lot of that support, except unless it's a stripper. Like, that's like the only like time you really see Black women getting a lot of financial support to go to college. Like, they'll make it, it's hard for the girl who's on the chess team or who on National Honor Society, but on a stripper, they sure will make it rain. Her tuition paid in full. But anyway, that's just a joke. That's a dark sense of humor, but that's where the conversation went. But it's just one of those things too, those lies that the manosphere tells you. And if you stay in these circles too long and you keep indulging in these dialogues, it makes you nervous to not put yourself out there, when really it's almost a very similar. If you've already been through the vetting process of finding out if Black men like Black women, it's the same thing when you jump the fence. It really is. But another lie the manosphere tells you is, I gotta be real, like, the whole thing about them, like, talking how wealthy they are and how much they floss. And let me tell you something. Nobody I know is flossing and flexing their money this type of year, okay? Because right now, when January 1st rolled around, we knew good and well that Joe and Kamala was going to stick us for our papers. We knew it. We knew it. Like they campaigned on a whole, this particular income level, we coming after y'all money, we gonna tax you. And yeah, they made good on that promise. Trust me, they made good on that promise. Over here, there is no refund checks and stimulus money. Like we getting, they coming for us. They are coming for us in this. I mean, you can do what you can with ESA, like educational savings accounts, FSA, like the flexible spending accounts, and healthcare savings account, HSAs and IRAs. You can do all those things, but for the most part, they coming for you. They coming for you. And this is income tax, okay? And these dudes are talking about how much they're making in crypto and how much they're making in trading and all this stuff like that. Listen, if income tax is a burden, you can imagine what capital gains is. You can imagine, like, I don't know anybody this time of year who's flossing right now. Ain't nobody flossing because the tax man cometh. And if these dudes is flossing, I'm thinking they lying. They lying, or they about to get, like, who was that gangster? Al Capone. Al Capone, right? Get away with all this crime, but you ain't. Al Capone got away with crime, but he did not get away with taxes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And another thing too, I need for y'all to help me out. Because I need to find out these Black women in these IR relationships who are resting in their femininity. I need for you ladies in IR relationships who's resting in your femininity to come and help me, because y'all, I need a nap. Okay, it is that time of year. My daughter has her softball, and my husband takes on clientele for like private batting lessons and like fielding workshops and things like that. And y'all, I'm busy. I'm busy. I mean, I'm driving we cover a large area for my daughter's softball, the camps and the tournaments and it's a lot. It's a lot. And then, I have a whole nother child too, who has a job, who has, friends of her own and a social life of her own. And yes, she drives, but there's certain things that still I have to take her to because, she is pretty active in some of the senior activities at her school. She does like drama club and yearbook and all these. So it's busy. And not to mention, she's taking some pretty advanced classes and, she's like, "Oh, Mom, can you help me with this?" And I'm like, "Girl, you know how long it's been since I've seen like a function graph?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, calculus was a long time ago. That was like, God, over 2 girl, child, can we Google it? Like, but the thing about it is when you marry these men who expect excellence of themselves, they also expect that of their children. Like, we're out here paying our kids tuition. We can't have them getting no B's and C's. Because it's not cost effective if that was the case. And, when it comes to our daughters and their sports and things like that, like, my youngest daughter, I got to give it to her. She is extremely competitive. I mean, just even last night, it was just a tornado that dropped down here and they did not cancel that game, honey. And those girls came to play. And my daughter did an amazing job on offense and defense, great job. I'm so proud of her. Like, everything that she's got, she's earned. She's definitely not like the coach's daughter anymore. You know what I mean? She definitely is a player that has proven herself to deserve to play at this level and to deserve to be there, But again, that takes a lot of work. So if you are resting in your femininity, come help me. Come help me so I could take a nap. Come help my daughter with calculus and this design engineering class. I don't even know what design engineering is, y'all. But come help me. Come help me drive my daughter to these tournaments and sit down for hours and hours during these pool games to find out where they're going to place. Come help me. Come help me rest in my femininity because I'm not resting. I'm tired, y'all. Oh, and we're going through a home renovation. Okay. So again, I've been telling you this. So we had to have like a mold remediation in one of the bathrooms. Okay. So that means that everybody finds themselves, or my daughters find themselves having to use our master bathroom because we're still kind of working in their bathroom. And why is it? Why is it every morning when they leave for school, my bathroom look like a whole daggone crime scene? Why do my bathroom look like a crime scene? Listen, if FEMA wasn't out here helping these tornado victims, they need to be helping me in my bathroom because it's a whole mess. Why is that? Why do it look like the Tasmanian devil got a hold of some Fenty Beauty and went crazy in my bathroom? Every morning. And the other one, let's talk about the little one, okay? Let's talk about the little one and why we are, I got to be Ricky Bobby and shake and bake like I'm a daggone race car driver to get her to school on time because she's still steady in the mirror doing calligraphy with her baby hairs, with her edges. Okay? Every morning, y'all. Like, it's serious. Like, I'm about to say, like, listen, okay, I put this picture here because my mom was one of the Hidden Figures. You know, Hidden Figures didn't just work for NASA. They worked for Westinghouse, GE, Dow Chemical, SC Johnson. And my mom was definitely, and Miss Linda and them, Miss Teresa and them, were definitely very instrumental in making some of the products that we use today, like Easy Off Oven Cleaner, Dow Scrubbing Bubbles. You know, Black women were very instrumental in that. So if your grandmother was a whole Hidden Figure, why you can't clean the bathroom? You know what I mean? She was instrumental in creating some of the technology that helped to create Scrubbing Bubbles and Easy Off Oven Cleaner, but yet you can't clean this bathroom? I'm about to call Kelly from Priceline, Idris from Booking.com, because I'm gonna check into somebody's hotel because I don't know how much longer I can take this. And you know, it's like a supply chain issues, and it's just a bad time to have a renovation right now. High gas prices, it's hard getting things to ship, and I'm just telling you, if this mold-resistant drywall do not show up, I'm gonna have to check into a hotel. I'm gonna have to stay somewhere else because it's that deep, y'all. You know, we talk about, oh, you're resting in your feminine. No, I'm not resting in my femininity. My bathroom is a mess. My kids be late to school. You know, almost late to school. I got to be Ricky Bobby every morning because they all share a bathroom. It's a mess. We all share a bathroom. Thank God my husband works from home and he can just go sign in his pajamas, and he's not like part of the traffic, the morning time traffic in the morning when everybody's getting ready. You know, I don't work full time anymore. So there are times when I can delay use it. But then too, Lord, just pray for me, y'all, okay? I mean, and then too, you know, they're like, oh, well, you know, you have money. Like, yes and no. Like, renovations are expensive. Having 4 cars is expensive, you know. Insuring teen drivers is expensive. So I'm not really like laying in the lap of luxury right now. You know what I'm saying? Jake from State Farm, with Joe and Kamala don't take Jake from State Farm. He coming in there too. He coming in hot. You know, speaking of Jake from State Farm, you know, I had to look up who he was, right? I was like, because he looked very like ladies who were part of a 3-letter Greek organization, Black 3-letter. Don't he look a little Kappa Alpha Psi to you? He looked a little noopish. He looked very noopish to me. I had to look up who he was. I'm like, you know. But anyway, that's besides the point. But you know, it's no joke out here. It's no joke out here, ladies. I mean, raising teenage girls, even being middle class, upper middle class, is still a challenge. Being married to even having my husband is very hands-on dad. It still is really time consuming. It's still really challenging. You know, we decided to do private school. That was a decision that we made. And let me tell you, it takes something out of you. And also too, ladies, I've been hearing some stuff too on YouTube about, you know, how old you are and hitting walls and da 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 da. Let me tell you something about private school culture, okay? Nobody is 35. I heard this one live talk about this woman was talking about she was 35 and her kid was in 8th grade. Ain't no 35-year-old women got no middle schoolers in private school. Like when if you meet in a 35-year-old in private school, that kid's in kindergarten. Like private school moms, we are just a lot older than a lot of your public school moms. There's none of us who are like 28. You know what I mean? Like none of us are. We're all. I mean, my husband was dugout dad 2 years in a row for my daughter's softball team, high school softball team, because he was one of the only few dads who was under 50. So when I hear these men talk about too old and da 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 da, these people talking about too old, okay, your kid's in public school then, because these private school moms are like 46 with like third graders. You know what I mean? Like I'm that age and I have high schoolers, but they're that age and they have 8-year-olds. You know, like that's not super uncommon to have parents in their 50s with high schoolers. Like my daughter's boyfriend, his parents are in their 50s. You know, like that's not uncommon, you know, to see just older parents. And I'm just letting you know that, you know, so if those of you who maybe are getting started a little bit later in life with having kids, maybe just your kids are just destined to be maybe just destined to be a private school mom. That's it. Like just get used to it. Get used to, you know, the artesian water at the hydration station. And when you do field day and the fact that, you know, I mean, my daughters call it private school mom vibes. They call it the private school mom vibes. Like, I had to get them to explain it to me. Like basically they say the women who put artesian water in the hydration station and the women who have like the good oranges, like that are easy peel and you don't have any seeds in them. Like that's a private school mom vibes. The moms who already have their makeup on in the drop-off line. So clearly I don't have private school mom vibes according to them because I'll be just barely making it. Because again, we're down to one bathroom. Yeah, so I don't have private school mom vibes. I mean, I do a little something to try to look like not embarrass them or myself. But I mean, a lot of us are in our late 40s, early 50s with middle school and high schoolers. So I don't know what they're talking about with this wall and, you know, being 35 with middle schoolers. When I was 35, I had a kindergartner. Like I'm 30 years older than my youngest daughter. So, I mean, it's not super uncommon in these private school settings. So please don't believe the hype about you being old. Because if you go to private school and sit in those PTO meetings, you're going to realize that you right on par with them. Most of these women have advanced degrees. Most of these women are well into their 40s and 50s when their kids are in high school. So please don't ever misconstrue that. Okay. So ultimately, you know, I just want you ladies to be happy. I just want you ladies to live your best life. I just want you ladies to be well informed and to not be too nervous to put yourself out there, because a lot of these questions that you're asking yourself and these things that you're ruminating over are really just ways to keep you in a holding pattern. So just know that no matter what choice you make in life, there are going to be ups and downs. Would I trade my life in for anything? No, I love my life. I'm blessed to live the life that I live. I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud of the choices that I've made that's got me here. Even the ones that, if I look back on it, it looked like a mistake. I'm grateful for where I am in my life. I'm even grateful the fact that I even have more than one bathroom. You know, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the home renovation, even though it's a really hard time to be going through one. I'm grateful. Ultimately, I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for the decision that I've made and the partner that I chose to go with me through this, but know that it's not always easy. Know that it's not always resting. Know that when you do put yourself out there, you are still taking a risk either way with what you do, you know? So my hope is that more of you could learn to just vet and socialize and really make connections with people who are about the same thing you're about, as opposed to the fact that you're just not, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to have a great life. Even when you're grateful for even the hardships that come with it, because hardships are bound to come with it. You know, I'm telling you something, even being married to a high earning man who's super hands on, it has its share of challenges. But, you know, I'm sure so does being by yourself, being a single parent. I'm sure that that has its share of challenges. And I'm also sure that being married to somebody who is not on the same level as you has its share of challenges. But what I want them to be is challenges that you feel confident in overcoming, and that you feel confident in being able to master and having a great life, no matter what those challenges are. So don't let misconceptions or YouTube rhetoric shade your perception of reality and the opportunities that are out there, because I really do want to let you know that there are so many fantastic things out there that life has in store. And I just don't want you to miss out on any of it. So this is Mocha Mommy, and I'll see you in the next video.